father was going to let him go with Dunk after that conversation that they had. I was thinking to myself, there's no way that he changed his mind. And then as you see in the little like post credit scene afterward, he was like, "Where's Dunk? Where the f is no, sorry, not Dunk. Where is Aegon? Where
Aegon.
is
Oh,
my
you're
son?"
talking.
Yeah,
You're talking about Makar at the end, right? Makar.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makar's
Yeah,
great,
and
by the way. Throughout the entire show, the little bit we get to see of Makar is really good.
I just think personally that there's a few avenues that the show could go down. I don't know how the book ends. I've never read it, but I'm kind of curious to
Like
see.
everything else, it's not done.
I'm kind of I'm
Not
kind of curious
kidding.
to see.
I'm not kidding.
I'm kind of curious to see whether Dunk, Egg, and Baratheon decide to go to war only because Baratheon tells Dunk that a
Well,
war's coming. So
yeah, you know what that war is?
enlighten me.
Robert's Rebellion. That's when
Oh.
Rhaegar Targaryen takes Lyanna Stark, and Baratheon's already betrothed to her, in love with her, whatever. Yeah. And then shit goes down. And then that's what we see in like Game of Thrones, like what, like 5, 6, 7, 8, all that background with like Ned fighting him in front of the tower. Or Ned fighting in front of the tower. Young Ned who
Do you
plays
think we're gonna
Elrond.
get to see?
Dude,
Do you think that we're?
A Robert's Rebellion show is the next show they should do, but they probably wouldn't. But like that would be what the next 3 seasons of Night of the Seven Kingdoms would lead into.
Are we
That's
getting 3 more
I'm pretty
seasons
sure
after this?
Lionel. I believe so, and I believe that Lionel is the grandfather of Robert, if I'm not mistaken. But also, one thing I want to mention is that vision the old lady was talking about of like a dragon will fall on you and all this other stuff, that wasn't referring to Baelor, from what I'm told. I don't know who it's referring to, and I had
What
that
was it?
theory.
Oh,
I have a theory that it's referring to Aegon somehow. That he'll have to. That
yeah.
Dunk will have to kill him, or will end up being the reason he dies. But Dunk
You
ends up
really
living.
think Dunk? You really think that Dunk is going to kill Egg?
Targaryens go mad, bro. Did we think Daenerys was gonna go crazy?
No, it's true. It's a good point.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. I literally don't know.
I don't want that to happen though. That'd be sad as hell.
Neither do I, but this is also Westeros, and there's never a happy ending, especially for the best person.
So I gotta ask, at what stage do you think Aegon's gonna die then?
I would say season 3.
Season 3?
No, I would say the end of 4. We know.
Think there's gonna be
one thing that I do know is that at some point, if I'm not mistaken, Dunk ends up in King's Landing because he has to, because he's part of the Kingsguard, because he's in the book. He's in the book in Game of Thrones. So Duncan the Tall is 4 pages in Game of Thrones in the book. So he has to end up in Kingsguard at some point.
Right.
Dude, I also heard a crazy theory the other day from Ryan and Vera Dark on Friday Night Tights that Aerys Targaryen, the Mad King, put all of the wildfire under the city because he was a dreamer and he had a dream that the White Walkers would make it there, and that was his final nuke to wipe them out so that they didn't travel off of Westeros and take over the rest of the world or some shit. And that's what started
people
to drive.
Blame him as a madman.
And that's what started to drive him mad. And then when everybody tried to attack him, he was already crazy at that point because his dreams were going schizophrenic. And then that's why he was like, burn them all, because he saw them as the White Walkers. That's the theory. And I was like, that's crazy, bro. Like, that's a nice theory. Apparently they're making a play all about Aerys the Mad King. So if it comes to Philly, I might go see it. That'd be cool. But anyway, back to Night of the Seven Kingdom. it's a very small story beginning, but we're showing somebody that the entire realm knows eventually. You know what I mean? Like all 7 kingdoms know that this guy's the shit. And he came from literally nothing. He's like Eminem, bro. Like he's like the Eminem of knights. Like he's like some backwater piece of shit that just ends up being everybody in the world knows who he is.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
when we're
no.
just like, I want to walk down the street, and people are like, "You're the High King," and it's just like, "No, please, I'm just trying to buy bread."
Well, he doesn't become the High King. He just becomes the Knight of the 7 Kingdoms. Like he is known. He's helped everybody basically. He's a traveling knight. He's the Dragonborn without the dragon. He's the traveling wanderer that goes and helps everybody, and then eventually gets into the King's Guard. That's basically what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
So, Roland.
A hedge knight is like a wandering knight. They sleep in the hedges. They don't sleep in an inn. They don't sleep in a castle. They sleep in the hedges.
Roland, is episode 4 still your favorite?
No, that would be episode 5.
Oh. I thought episode 4 was your favorite. Episode 4
No, episode 4 was my favorite up until episode 5.
Oh. Yeah.
Episode 5 was freaking sick, dude. Episode 4 had
they're all...
Episode 5 is the one, like, yeah, episode 4 has the best, like, the speech at the end.
Yeah.
But episode 5, dude, that was the most brutal and awesome night, like, battle, like, fight between, like, I call it a night fight because it's not a battle. Like a 1v1 that I've ever seen. Only other person I've ever seen actually take a sword that's not from an anime and beam a fucking sword at somebody like it's a throwing knife was Arian Targaryen. He's the only fucking one I've ever seen do that other than Aragorn. When Aragorn just beams the sword at the freaking orc's neck in the Fellowship of the Ring. I've never seen anybody else throw a sword, like a literal short sword, like a throwing knife.
Yep.
That's crazy. Like that, and it hit. And dude, bro, he stabs it through his hand, and he's like, like, yo, come on,
that's badass.
That was gnarly. Yeah, it was badass.
That's badass. Yeah. What I will say is episode 6 doesn't have a whole lot of action, but it's a lot of character stuff, and I think it's really good. Like it's very solid, like, you know, character writing.
What was your favorite part?
Probably the flashback scene with, you know, Arlen, because I was thinking to myself that, like, oh, this is when he died, but then, you know, it was a, you know, fake out death. I was kind of thinking, yo, they literally pulled a Shrek 3 here.
I love that show, dude. Because just the fact that this show has consistently kept the humor going in the weirdest way possible is so perfect.
Yeah, like, you know, Dunk is like sitting there crying, and then, like, you know, Arlen finishes talking,
and then he dies.
Ro was just sitting there like, and then that is the end of the story.
Yep.
But yeah, no. Also, Roland, something that I noticed. I don't know if you picked this up. You know how you see at the end of the episode before the ending credit scene, Sweetfoot. Did you notice that Arlen was on the horse?
Yes, Arlen went off because I don't think we're going to see any more Sir Arlen flashbacks, really. I think it's like that's kind of he's out of the story now.
Yeah.
He doesn't need Sir Arlen anymore. He's proved himself. He is a knight. He might look back on him fondly, but he doesn't need his approval anymore.
Right. Yeah. That was something that I thought was, you know, kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. But yeah, no, I mean, solid show.
I mean, I think it was a phenomenal show. I don't want to get too much into the spoilery of it, other than what we've already spoiled. But like, I highly recommend everybody watch all 6 episodes. I mean, I think the longest episode is 48 minutes. And everything else.
Yeah, that's episode 2, I think. That one's
No,
like
it's episode
48
one.
minutes.
Episode 1's the longest one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then they just dwindle down from there to like 30 to 40 minutes. You could get through it in like 2 to 3 hours without pausing. It's very simple. I actually really hope that they release like a Lord of the Rings style movie of it, where they just cut out like the end credit scenes and just put it all into one. Because I would watch that. Do that, HBO.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be really cool if you just eventually put them out in episodes and then release it as a movie. And then put them out in episodes and then release it as a movie. I know that might not be the best for but maybe right before season 2 comes out, release season 1 as a movie. You know what I mean? That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty sweet. That way you force everybody to watch the episodes, you get the watch time. But then right before, like the week before season 2 comes out, you just drop it as a movie. And that way we have it, right? So you can either watch it episodically or you can watch it as a movie. And then you got season 2. And then you put that out episodically, and then boom, same thing right before season 3. Because they're short episodes. So you could make it like a Lord of the Rings length 3.5 hour movie. I'm totally down with that. I think that would be really sick.
That would
Some
be
of
cool.
They changed just a little bit. They would actually seem funny, and it would probably really help with like the comedic effect that's in the show. Yeah, see, thank you, Muffler. He gets it. I think that would be really cool. Because then in the future, when we have our own kids and stuff, we can be like, yo, these 4 movies are really good. When they're old enough to watch them, of course. And you don't have to show them episodically, but you could if you want the suspense, right? So you get 2 different options. You still get suspense, but you can make them wait the same way we had to wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there is
already have that plan. I already have that plan with multiple movies and multiple shows to make my kids actually wait as long as I had to wait to watch them. Or at least, if it's a weekly show, when I'm going through, when I'm eventually watching Cobra Kai at some point, or Game of Thrones at some point, because at least the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones are good. When I'm doing that at some point, or certain anime, I'm going to be like, all right, tonight's anime night. We'll watch 3 different types of anime, 3 different episodes tonight on Tuesday night. But then you're going to have to wait until next Tuesday before we do anime again.
Oh, you're going to torture your kids?
That's what I had to deal with. That's what I had to deal with. I'm going to do it for the good ones. The other ones, you can binge them. The good ones, I'm going to make you think about for a week. Because
are you going to make them... Are you going to make them sit... Wait. Okay, are you going to make them
I'm not going to make them sit for 4 years to finish Attack on Titan. No, I'm not going to make them do that.
Are you going to make them sit on the Obito twist? Because that would be crazy.
I'm going to make them sit... What do you mean? I'm not gonna let them binge Naruto the same way no. Well, Naruto you can binge it. Honestly, I don't care as much. It's the ones that are really important. The ones that for Lord of the Rings. If we watch Lord of the Rings, I want you to at least think about it for a week before we just go into the next one. At least. You get what I'm saying? I want you to oh my god, and start thinking about it more and more, and then come up to me and go, Dad, I want to watch it. And I'm gonna be like, think about it more. Trust me.
Is there gonna be a 14-year gap that you'll make them wait between GTA 5 and 6?
No, but we'll watch all of Bleach, and then I'll be like, you're gonna have to wait 10 years.
Yo.
Then you can watch.
Yo.
Then you're allowed to watch the Blood War.
Yo.
Nah, who am I
then
kidding?
There's gonna be
I'm gonna be showing my kids Bleach by the time they're 10.
No, but then there's gonna be I'm just gonna go over to Uncle Roman's house, and then you will call me and say, "Don't let my kids watch it. Don't let them watch it."
Yeah, they're gonna have to wait 2 years in between each Halo game. No, I'm not doing that seriously. But what I'm saying is, when I'm showing you something that has a really, really, really solid story, I want you to take it in, and I want you to want more of it. So it's not necessarily that I'm going to do this with everything. You want to binge Star Wars in a week? Let's fucking go. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the original trilogy in a week, every other day. And I'm going to have you write something because I want to see that you're learning. My dad used to show me movies and be like, yo, can you just write some notes? Nothing crazy. As soon as I know how to read and write, of course. Like, the kids are going to grow up on Star Wars. That's what I did. But then, one day, when I was like 10 or 11, I was like, Dad, I want to watch Star Wars. And, like, I got more into Star Wars. Like, I really started to think about it. And think about all the different aspects of what went into it.
That's fascinating.
Well, maybe. And, like, that I would do with them together. You know what I mean? That's my plan for One Piece anyway. I know a lot about One Piece. But maybe at that point, I'll just show them parts of the live action first. Or the anime first. And, like, if they're younger kids, then, like, yeah, the live action's pretty okay to show to, like, somebody that's, like, 10.
How far did you get into the anime?
I got through at least, I don't know what the name of the arc is. I got past, fuck, dude. I forget the name of the island. I got past where season 1 of the live action is.
Okay.
So, like, to the Grand Line, I guess, like, is the next one. So, was Great Blue, was that the first one, or was the Great Blue after? I don't remember.
Never seen
you guys all know, all my One Piece fans out there know, don't attack me. I don't watch One Piece like that. I watch One Piece when I go to my friend's house, and they're like, bro, you gotta see this. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, that's sick. Like, I've seen Garp nuke that city. That shit was fucking dope. I can't wait till I get there in 20 years. Like,
he's gonna call me, bro. He's gonna call me on the phone. And he's gonna be like,
Garp just going like this, just nuking the city is crazy. Like, Garp is this shit. I already liked Garp from day one when I watched it. Like, so yeah, like, there's characters in One Piece I fuck with heavy. I'm just like, I got so much other stuff I'm trying to watch. Whitebeard's cool as shit too. I've seen him as well. But, like,
yeah, I mean,
I would have to literally negate, like, if I wanted to catch up on that shit, dude, I would have to have Roman do all the thumbnails and work on all this shit and do all the editing for the actual, like, images and shit that we do. And then I would also have to not work on my book very much, take less time off of work, and not do anything for Fictionology. So that is why One Piece is not on the cards. I can watch it here and there. But I also want to watch my own anime, watch my own shows, and also read my own manga. Which, by the way, I got to catch up on Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, well, I'm still behind you, but how many chapters are you, behind?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? I'm one chapter behind. What's going on?
Well, no. So it's like I told you on Wednesday. I am at, it's called Bonfire. I'm at there. I think it's like chapter like 104.
Wait a second. Hold on. Chainsaw Man, chapter 104.
I think I'm at Bonfire.
Let me get to the images. Hold on. Yo, Muffler, is that the one I think it is? Muffler, is there by any chance a certain devil that shows up in this chapter? Or is that he's on 104? Who is he with right now? What's he doing? Is there a church involved?
Yes.
There is a church involved. No. If there's a church involved, bonfire. The word bonfire, Muffler. Bonfire. Isn't that before falling?
That's when Yoru that's when, wait, I may have read 104 because Yoru screams into the pillow. In that,
is there fire itself involved?
Not yet.
The stuff blowing up.
Not yet.
Okay, that answers my question.
Where am I at then? 103? 102?
No. I think it's coming after because you said the chapter's name is Bonfire.
Yeah.
I bet you Muffler's looking through it right now.
Probably.
But yeah, because I'm pretty sure before we get into the falling, there's something that has to do with fire. The falling. It's not even a spoiler. Like you don't even know what I mean. You don't even know what we mean.
The falling? I'm curious about what that means, Brother Roland.
I just need you to read more. It's see, that's the type of thing, dude. I hope all of this is animated by the time like we have kids and they're like 15. So I could be like, Chainsaw Man! Like, here you go, bro. Here. Happy birthday. Like,
yeah.
That and Dandadan, dude. Here. Have fun.
You know, I've noticed something since becoming a regular on Fictionology, there's something that I've caught on to, Roland, and I think you will agree with this too. I'm starting to not like Attack on Titan as much. Like
dude, So before we get into that, can we close up the Night of the Seven Kingdoms real fast? Just by saying,
yes,
everybody watch it. It's like, it's so freaking funny at points in times. It's hilarious. Like you will laugh out loud, but you'll also be like, "Get his ass, get him!" Like you're just like you're like so on for these characters. They're such good people, and everybody else is a piece of shit. You just want to see the good guys like actually succeed, and it's just such a good tale. It's like 8 Mile in Westeros, dude. It's crazy. Like I'm not even kidding.
Not
it's exactly
He's
what
not
it
wrong.
is.
Yeah.
So
and
I highly recommend the show. But on your Attack on Titan point, which yes, listen, Attack on Titan to me is like